friends, today we're working on Unit 2, Lesson 12. And look at this, friends. We have made it into the hundreds pages. That is how hard we've been working. Let's take a moment and just give a whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, ready, set, go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nice job. We have been working so hard that we are allowed to whoop it up every once in a while, for sure. All right, so we have these bags again today on page 99. And what we're going to do right now is we're just going to circle all the groups of 5 and write the missing numbers in there. Are you ready? Let's go. So you are doing this right now. You're not just watching me. And you might notice as we're going along that we are counting by 5s, which is pretty cool. When we do count bys like this, we are also learning the early parts of multiplication. When you are in 3rd grade, you'll do count bys of 3s, of 4s. You'll do all those count bys. Right now we just do 2s, 5s, and 10s. But I will stop talking because it can be annoying when somebody talks while you're doing this. Going to pause right now and give you about 1 more minute to finish circling all the groups of 5s and writing those numbers in the empty bags. Okay, now that we have finished writing all of this and circling all this, I want you to take a moment and just look and see if you notice any patterns in these. And I'm going to pause and see what patterns you have recognized. Very impressive, friends. So what you guys noticed was the 5s that are always at the end, and that there are always 0s at the end. Ooh, that looks like an 8. I'll fix that a little bit. Yeah, so we are always looking at the 5s and the 10s groups for these. Let's go ahead and count all the way to 100 by 5s, okay? I'm gonna do it with you once, and then I'm gonna stop and I want you to do it with your study buddy on your own. Okay, are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. All right. Now you're going to count to 100 to your study buddy right now. I'm going to hit pause and give me a thumbs up when you have finished counting all the way to 100 by 5s. See, that's just good practice, you guys. It's good practice to count by 5s and figure that stuff out because it helps us when we get to things like this. I'm going to put my spiral to the side because I'm not going to use my spiral anymore today. So you guys don't need your spiral today. We're just going to be working in the workbook pages. All right, so we know that each of these are 5 cents. That's the nickel. The nickel is right here. So that's the nickel. You can see that it's got a face on the front of it. It says, "In God We Trust." It says liberty on it. We flip it over. There's a building on it, and it even says 5 cents on it. Do you see that right there where it says 5 cents? Yeah, that's because they want to make sure that we know that that is worth 5 cents or 5 ones. So if I had 3 of these nickels, I could count them by 5s. 5, 10, 15. And underneath, we are writing the value as we add it up. 5, 10, 15, and then we're writing the value over here. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and look at number 3, and we're going to count that by 5s, and we're going to add the total up over here. Are you ready to count with me? And I want to make sure that you are counting with me. I'm not just doing this work for you. I want you to be moving your mouth and saying these words. And if you whisper them, that's fine. If you just mouth them, that's fine too. But I need to see you verbally participating in this in some kind of mouthy feel way. Are you ready to go? All right, let's start. 5, 10, 15, 20. So let's write that down below. 5, 10, 15, 20. So whenever you see a bunch of money in a row like that, I'm not looking for you to tell me what the value is. They already did that. I'm looking for you to count it up as we go. So this is 20 cents. And this will be on the test, so make sure that you're understanding that and doing that. All right, the next one, number 4. Let's count it together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we're going to go ahead and write that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we have 25 cents there. And did you notice that I'm not writing that little cent sign? That's because we have this dollar sign there. So it's telling us that if we had a dollar, it'd be there, but we don't, so it's right there. Now this says draw 5 nickels at the end there. And so we'll talk about that in a second. It says Pedro has 9 nickels. Draw 5 nickels. Draw the nickels. So how many nickels are we going to draw? Yes, we're going to draw 9 nickels. And what are we going to show those? How are we going to show those? What are we going to draw? Yes, we're going to draw the circle with the 5 in it, which we now know means nickel. So we're going to draw 9 of them. Go ahead and you do this right now. After you draw it, I want you to count those up and write the total in the chat. You're only chatting to me, so not everybody should be able to see it. So go ahead and count that up and put the total in the chat. You guys are pretty amazing people. Very impressive. So let's count this together and make sure that you're right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Write the total of money, 45 cents. Okay, friends, now they are going to try to trick us a little bit. Make it a little trickier. But we're so good at counting those nickels and dimes now, I don't think this will be a problem. So we can see here that we have 5, 10, and then we have a penny, 11. So we're counting together now. We've got these 2 coins being used in combination. Nickels and pennies. And let's go ahead and look at that penny up close. So you get an idea of what that looks like. And some of them look a little different depending on how old the penny is. You can see that this one has some kind of discoloration on it. That is normal with pennies. And I don't know if you know this, but when the pennies and when the coins get old, the Treasury, they take those pennies back from the banks and give them fresh new ones. And they take these coins and they make them into fresh coins. Isn't that cool? So they recycle our money all the time, and then they re-release it back out into society so that we always get fresh new coins. And that's why coins are collectible, because if you have a coin that's 100 years old, that's pretty amazing that it didn't get taken back into the Treasury Department and remade into a new penny. All right, so let's look right here at these nickels and pennies. So we have 2 nickels and 3 pennies. I want you right now to count that up, write down underneath what you think belongs there, and write the total. Thank you so much for doing your best. So when we add this up, we get 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 cents. 13 cents. Let's do that again for number 8. You figure that out and type it in the chat when you get the answer. You are already getting really good at adding these up. This is 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. So we have 17 cents that time. All right, now they're going to try to really trick us up. Are you ready? Do you think you can do it? Let me see your I'm ready face. Show me how ready you are with that ready face. Ooh, we have some ready looking people. This says draw the dimes, draw the nickels and the pennies to show Maneka has 3 nickels and 6 pennies. So go ahead and draw it and figure out the total here. So remember, there are 3 nickels and 6 pennies. Go. All right. You guys are really getting this. I'm so proud of you. So far, I have 15, and now I need to draw my pennies. 2, 3, 4, 5. 18, 19, 20, 21. And so many of you ended up with 21. I'm so impressed. All right, the last page has you adding together dimes, nickels, and pennies. But at this point, I feel like I've worked so much with you talking about dimes and nickels and pennies that I believe in you, and I know that you can do this on your own. So this page, page 102, this is the page that I want to see on Seesaw. So take a picture of page 102, post it to Seesaw when you are finished. All right? You've got this, friends. You worked so hard today. You have a lot to be proud of.